Okay, so this is my presentation about hydropower. So first of all, we have the water cycle. So the water cycle continuously moves water throughout the atmosphere and around Earth. It has three main steps of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. And this continuous cycle makes water and therefore hydropower a renewable energy source. So as you can see, we just have a little picture of the the water cycle, and you have evaporation, condensation, and precipitation, which is the three main steps. So, using water's energy. So first of all, some type of waterfall is needed. It can be either natural or man-made with a dam. And the dam controls the head and the flow of the water. And the head is the height of the water, and then the flow is how much moves through the system. And these determine how much electricity is produced. And the water flows through a pipe known as the penstock, and this pushes against turbine blades and spins it, which in turn spins a generator to produce electricity, and then the water just continues down the river. So the water just takes the place of steam in a regular coal or natural gas fired power plant. So here's just a little picture of how it works. Obviously, this whole thing is the dam. You have a reservoir right here, then the area known as the penstock, the turbine and generator, and then normal power lines, just like you would have a normal power plant, and then the water just keeps going down the river. So some other options. There are run-of-the-river systems, and this is where the water just flowing through a river simply spins the turbine. And there's also pumped storage hydropower facilities, and in these systems, water is pumped to a higher elevation and then released through turbines located at lower elevations. And then there are also ways to produce electricity from tides and waves. And these options are all similar, but the storage system using a dam is the most popular. So how hydropower is used. A long time ago, hydropower was used to grind grain. And actually in the US, grain and lumber mills were directly powered by hydropower before steam power and electricity were available. And now it's used to produce both mechanical and electrical energy, and it's one of the oldest sources used to produce this. And here's just a picture of a hydropower dam. So, hydropower in the US. Currently, there are 1,460 conventional hydropower systems and 40 pump storage systems in the US. And in 2019, these systems produced 274 billion kilowatt hours of electricity, but this is only 7% of the electricity consumed in the US. And so just by comparison, even though this does seem like a really large number, coal produces 966 billion kilowatt hours, and natural gas produces 1,582. And scientists think that there's a large potential to increase this percentage. And hydropower produces the second most amount of electricity behind wind for all the renewable resources. And here's just a little map that shows the different hydroelectric plants. It shows when they were built and then just how much electricity they produce. And as you can see, the biggest one is right over here. So the environmental impacts. Hydropower dams do not directly produce any pollution. However, making the components of it, such as concrete, do produce some pollution. And obviously the dam changes the flow of the river, which can cause problems. It can obstruct fish migration, it can change the temperature and water chemistry, and change silt and nutrient loads downstream. And it can also, the reservoir that's built can also displace people, and it can dry up downstream areas such as wetlands and agricultural areas if they're not getting as much water as they normally would without the dam. However, there are measures taken to decrease the negative impacts, such as this over here is a fish ladder, and it just helps the fish migrate better because obviously they can't just go straight up the dam. And then it's estimated that the lifetime of emissions of, the lifetime of emissions-free hydroelectricity offsets any of the pollution that's from production, and usually the lifetime of these dams is 50 to 100 years. So my sources that I used are the energy info book, our normal textbook, and then this website that just said a lot about hydropower. And I also have another video that shows the little model thing. So that's it. Thank you.